Hi friends, and welcome back to playing a tribute to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Great Ace Attorney Adventures, where we are on episode 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room. Last we left off, we were supposed to study being a lawyer and take Kazuma's place on this adventure to Great Britain, to change, or to study the law, and to figure out what it is that he wanted to accomplish here. So, let's dive right in, shall we?
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Oh, that apparently was Herlock talking there.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Nice to have a little animated cutscene there. I like those. Are we in a clock tower? Are we in Big Ben? What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this is quite different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. Zoom in on the gears. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's offices, Naruto-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered to her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. That's a phrase I've never heard before. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Maybe a less oldish voice for that guy. He's very intimidating, my gosh. Oh. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. Oh, I remember his quirk. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention that. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you. He's got quite a presence about him, doesn't he? Look at his eyes. They're like pure white. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming Great Exhibition that we will be hosting here in London. Great Exhibition? Cultural, technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of this kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times, we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for the study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. It's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It is about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo. This is it then, the moment of truth. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least that's what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. He always struggles with words. Mr. Naruhodo? I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? If there's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's... it's Mr. Sato. There's no one! Okay, come on now. You've been a lawyer twice now. You've defended yourself. Well, you've defended yourself twice now. You got this. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I've acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused. But glossing over the details... I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Berga. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe, not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey has only just begun. Coming here to the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. Perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or does this expression just alter a fraction there of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Okay, what is this test? So what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so there will be welcome news. This will be welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you will have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask what sort of trial it is, Lord Strongheart? Yes. Good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention just in case. If the defendant is found guilty, he will, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. No pressure. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. It's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? No other choice. Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it. I can't get the words out. Illusion of choice. 15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire a ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Mr. Sato. But what could I do? It's all right, I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Mr. Sato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable. And I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. I mean, fair point. All around. A lawyer may fight for his clients in courts day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand on the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there something else? approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that. I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? I don't know why I emphasize it like that. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. My time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. He's gone. The Old Bailey. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Oh, here we go. The office of Lord Chief Justice Strongheart in Britain's greatest capital city, London. Its grand stone architecture and the echoey tick of the vast cogwheels lend it an air of authority. The oppressive air is really quite stifling. London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past, the Old Bailey, is where I'm to take my test and prove my worthiness as a lawyer. If we hurry and catch a cab, we may just make it to the courthouse on time. Welcome to court. Oh, thank goodness, we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. And there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sort of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. The oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever's about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're defending is. I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top of the morning to you, madam. Sir. What are yous doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? His accent is inconsistent in the writing, let alone whenever I do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do the accent. I wish I had more up my sleeve, like the Cockney accent, the Irish accent, Scottish accent. I can do all the things, if I could. Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces? From the east, are you? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right. Say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all the while in a strange faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure to have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we can possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I'd be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, it's for me good self here. I'll be on the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand up beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing, and all you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it's true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bluster and blazes! Do yous not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? No, sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park? What? 'Tis called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London. A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. Ah, but... Oh. Now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask ya? Ha ha ha. Oh, that's him. Ah ha ha. Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves? While the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Because clearly we won't get a word in edgewise otherwise. Mr. Gilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft Egypt? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking. The dancer of a fellow claims to have more money than the queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all England? Because he did it, that's the only explanation. Well... No! No, I mean, he could just not be liked. Not at all. Although it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry? Did he just say Reaper? Aye. The Grim Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Beric von Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he has been the prosecutor, the accused has been doomed. What? So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand a defense against this fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Beric von Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel. That would be me. Oh, it's time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. Alright, hold on. Do I have anything? No, I have nothing. I just have his armband. But I don't know anything about this case. Exactly. I just looked at the court record. I have nothing. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I'd made up me mind, so I had. Sorry. I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance, student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. What's happening then? My first trial in British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, what? Oh no. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. Looks like a vampire. And he looks like Santa Claus. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. Must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. Did he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me, Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of sacrificial lamb. Ugh. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGill. Yes, my lord. Too many voices at once. You stand accused of murder, capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this forum? As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young, even if the fellow is a student from some little island off in the Far East. It's not a British way to ignore the dangers of yourself and give these less fortunate a fair chance. Who is this guy? I'd like to think that acts of chivalry to the great British Empire of proud. You're saying it's chivalry to... Oh, what a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Father, please, may we go and play with Mr. in the Gilded Park? Seems as though everyone in the public gallery is finally firmly behind Mr. Begilded. Okay, so yeah, this is confusing. I guess it's just because of the prosecution, but it's not like the lawyers are also going to be reaped. Right. It's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Exactly. See, I'm not. Also, he's saying it's chivalrous for him to let me defend him, even though he has no one, because he can't let anyone defend him. The judge doesn't seem to see that he has no one to defend him. He's all like, "Oh, you're letting this foreigner do it." Oh. Eloquently put, Mr. McGill, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that 26 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. In the manner his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Clearly they all have nothing else to say. Oh, here we go. I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, those people are... The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. How exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. Prosecutor fancies. My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame. Oh, he's been out for a few years? I realize the reaper of infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance in which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. No, Opening statements, I think. Summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here that aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community of Thrice Fire Mason. Sorry? Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service in the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen was believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that. The photograph is evidence. Alright, reports prepared by Scotland Yard coroner. It gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of single stab wound to the abdomen. Photograph. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partially obscured from view by an old lens. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are. Good. Oh, is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord, seized by a policeman who arrived on the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. Leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time. There's a blood stain on the red glove. How did I get into this? Okay, nothing new there. That's what we just saw. Trying to see if there's anything weird. It's definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No. By the way, why is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Anything in the inside? Nope. Nothing more to be done there. And backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2. Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased bookmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused Magnus McGilded. Well, rather dooming circumstances, condemning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? He's so happy. Well, of course I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whatever I'm in the carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. You claim to have been asleep. 'Tis a motion of carriage, my lord. Lilt in tow it is, and when I open my eyes again. 'Twas a desperate sight before me, the body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in my life. Now I ask you, so what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? Wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give him the man a hand. So the blood got on the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, That statement of the driver's is only the beginning. That's not all of it. There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Well, that's affecting things. Order, order, order! Dar. Like a pirate. When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses, first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name's First. Lady First. I, make hats for gents. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed with your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. Alright, here goes. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Well, that's pretty conclusive, isn't it? My gosh. An ambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'm faltering with his voice, I'm sorry. Von Zeeks needs a very, distinctive voice. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel. Also, I keep making it too similar to the judge. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. How quaint. That civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? I just got here today. Huh? Tell me, my Japanese friend, have you ever even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. What do you mean, the actual scene? How? The carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today in this very building. What? The entire carriage? Bailiff. Bring forth the stricken omnibus. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city architecture and sights ought to be had from the top of an omnibus. Sorry, I was looking for Easter eggs in the signs and stuff on the omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Oh, skylight. Oh. The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. Look at this wig. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into a courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well. I see no reason why not. The omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. 8-seater omnibus that was seeing the crime. There were passengers both inside the carriage and off. I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. That's the plan. Let's do it. So much information. Oh, hey, look, Phoenix Wright Omnibus. There are Easter eggs. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights and the cold air rushing past them? And they have to pay money to do so? I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late. Wait, is that the only thing to look at? Oh no, here's the door. Okay. I was like, you can't go inside it? Well, let's open the door to go inside, shall we? Ugh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. Ah, it closed behind us. Ah, that's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Oh, the Crystal Tower! It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. This seat has a handle, it seems. Looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. This was a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. Doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it'd be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Okay, I think that's all for that one. I wish it had the check mark like it usually does. And that's a poster for the Great Exposition. Let's do it. Okay. I was looking at the notice, but okay. Oh, I was like, what is this thing? It's the mirrors and or the lights in the front. Alright, nothing here. And blood. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victim's, obviously. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Did you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, if it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Okay. Is that all? Quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. And therefore there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. Okay. I think that's everything. Have you seen enough? Let's go step back outside then. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to see. Let us continue with the proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Pray don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. Alright, my first cross-examination in a British court. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. I'm gonna go through the press everything method because it's all very... I mean, what else?
Hold it!
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, every so cold it was, sir. Freezing, in fact. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no. There were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that, no. So nobody fled the scene of the crime, then. I have to say that boss insists on it running, he does, every evening, the last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, this is sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with that being so cold and everything, and making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Poor cold guy.
Hold it!
And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage. That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. 2 of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. There's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGildet. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? Mr. McGildet is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. In that picture, McGildet wasn't wearing gloves. What was with that? Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased, Mr. Mason and Mr. McGildet. There is no room to doubt here. I really wish there was.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened. Didn't I already testify to that? Or are fair dinkum hardworking city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? No, I didn't mean that. It's no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail, if that's... My lord! Juror number 3. What's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter, anyway. That is precisely what I was about to say. As the foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. What is happening here? Let me see. Yes, it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. If the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well, the court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say, and you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing a little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out of his belly, that huge grey knife. A grim sight, indeed. That didn't help me at all. The jury looks like they're even more convinced McLean did it than they were before. They appear to have made everyone more dubious than that Mr. McGilda is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First. Yes, sir. Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief, yes, that's it. That very one, sir. Is that... Yes, sir. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. It is a blade of considerable size, Counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps? McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
Oh. but there are M's everywhere. Yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
Oh, that's a bold objection. Blast. This blade is far too extravagant for a poor bookmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder certainly belongs to the accused. What is the motive here? Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, Counsel. Largish knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Quality and fancy ornamentation suggest it must be quite valuable. Oh no. I just want to look at this first. Here's the M. The condemning M. The ornate letter M, undeniably Mr. Magnus gilded initial. And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think. Ah, what is it? at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. A W? Yes, this is one of those, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know it all. But what I am sure of is this is an M. Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. What are you talking about? It's totally a W. Okay, what else can we do with it? Can I take it out of its scabbard? That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruto? Oh, sorry, yes. I just don't really like blades. And yet you are holding Kazuma's. Oh. Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. Exactly. It's not a blade. That's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Oh, lovely bloody. It's very fancy. It looks a lot it looks a lot like blood. It surely is blood, the victim's. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. Well, we've got nothing else for it. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Juror number 2. Go on. There are too many voices in these cases. So there's the jurors, there's the witnesses. Oh, goodness. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish. Oh boy, that's 3. No! I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. That's 4. Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But... Alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Oh, okay, this is the last one. What exactly did you see? Oh, well, sir, it would be the passenger, sir, that collapsed on the floor he was. And by the passenger, obviously, you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the bookmaker. And then the other passenger had that knife in his hand, like this. By the other passenger, obviously, you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Then the plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. Wait, what? He was on the floor before he was stabbed? My lord, I wish to speak. Oh, no. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you, too, as the master of London Guild of Coachmen? The idea of murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. There's gotta be a conflict of interest here. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open mind a little longer. Gee up now, Silver Blaze. The finish is in sight. Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. And I think there's a conflict of interest. This is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Madam Juror number 6. Yes, dear. What can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know. Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit. I always go to the park around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated to the city, you know. Put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman who would have it in him to take another man's life. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to the McGilded Public Library later and borrow some books? How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds do you people not know? What kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? What kind of a man is he? The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir. And one with the very darkest of souls. What? Stone the crows! McGilded lends money in extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of that before. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that the victim, the poor brickmaker, had next to nothing in his name save considerable financial liability. It would come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, his pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist, tender Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it.
Hold it!
If I might add something briefly, Mr. Sato, you claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where is the evidence to support your claim? Where did that come from? Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in the court of law. Oh, I forgot. This is his thing. he keeps apologizing for things that he does. That's gonna be a thing he keeps doing throughout this game. Aha! There it is, Lord Van Zeke's hallowed chalice. How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I'd heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage. I didn't expect to experience it myself. As judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this letter as evidence. forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. Cheers. A marvelous toast. I would gladly accept this new evidence. Catalog of people who have borrowed money from the defendant at a high rate of interest includes a victim who owed 20 guineas. Ah, yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Oh, goodness! What is it? Look at this! Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Oh, come on. Bruce Fairplay is the witness testifying at this very moment. Oh, yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course. But this could be very useful information. Added information. Okay, I think that's all that I'm going to get from this book. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. Such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel. Still, maybe it's all for the best. Ah, wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more before... I don't stand for nonsense. That was it. The last juror's decision. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote, though. A footnote? However, the defense... All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement to this case. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. Mr. Sato, just tell me one thing. Yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense. What did it say next? Oh yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination. From which century is that tome you have there been resurrected? I think I read that wrong. That's okay. Ah! Judging from the binding, I would say the book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text of British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh. What even is it, Mr. Sato? This so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment and I'll read about it. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what, exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decision. And it says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use the summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use. I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. A self-respecting defense barrister will even assert his right to try it in this day and age. It's a good thing I'm not self-respecting. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that although it might be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? It's the only way to keep going, man. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could be vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Well, I'm not, There's no mention of this in the letter I received, see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they've reached their decisions. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're really putting us on the spot. This is the most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with any of this justifying lark. It seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them has experienced this before. Alright then, the summation examination. Defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant Magnus McGilton guilty of this most serious crime. Here's the other gimmick of the game. The jury. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I can't really fight against that. I trust the driver. He has excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn this logical conclusion. None of these are really helpful. We trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. Beggar's belief. Still don't understand the whole him being on the floor thing, because the picture has him seated, and the blood stain is on the seat. So I'm a little confused. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed this for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they might become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read in the British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they're complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. So we're seeing if they contradict each other, which I believe that I heard one. I heard a contradiction of each other. If we can then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. Ah, I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Do I still press them and stuff? Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take a stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Okay.
Objection!
Something's wrong here. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silverblaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea of what you're talking about. I love this. The pacing back and forth. According to the group of testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That is, a fair and convenient single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leads to a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each, if you do the multiplication. Ah, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare? Yes, in other words, the omnibus that night. It's distinctly possible There was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men. Trustworthiness is our watchword. Figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news would surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Oh, then how do I make it so that this miserable trial doesn't end, Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side, set of scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We're all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo. Whew. This is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Well, that wasn't so hard. For the love of Mike! Not you as well! A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. Oh, wait, what? 2 more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. That's where you must strike next. So I need to put 2 more jurors against each other and saw there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly! You can do it! So I need to change 4 of them total. Because, oh, I need to shift the scales to a majority. That must be it. Well, the scales of justice have slightly shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. So I do have a problem with the floor thing, and I think that the way to solve it is him. Because it's like, oh, he's stuck with the guy next to him. And the floor.
Objection!
Those 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post haste. Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What's all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? I've heard from more than one witness that they all allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want to test me, do you? Just like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, and he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches! What a muddle. What this tells us that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. Why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen all in good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dear me. I can't abide people telling lies. The scales. I don't believe it. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him, in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, let's say it didn't happen like that, hmm? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? I should take this knife to you. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you. Ugh, they're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? No, because he was only stabbed once. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman... What is it, you dark jinx? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence? That's what I want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. You say that's out of the question. Show me some proof. Okay. Looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. But I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by a single stab to the abdomen. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I can see defeat. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. We've won the battle, anyway. What are you playing at, you dandy for? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. If the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in quite a remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to yeah, no, I was right. And the trial must continue. Adjudicate? Adjudicate. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places, and call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. At least we're all on the same side. We're trying to find the truth, you know. I like it when we're all on the same side and it's not all about, oh, we must win. Though I guess technically right now Naruhodo is kind of in the winning side, because it's like, oh, if I win, then I get to stay and do the study tour. So, Lord Van Sykes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Jeez. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Vezzies. Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tone no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honored the deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Is that the equivalent of like rolling up his sleeves, ditching his cloak? Witnesses. I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Yes, sir, that I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, Leander, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires to your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of the fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh, deal. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. I only carried for 4 passengers that night, I swear, but, well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled on us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGill stab him. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. You think so? Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cousinage. Beppo, explain yourself. Terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny fare? Oops. Did not realize I hit that. It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty. You're a dishonest coachman. I'm sorry. Oh, a disgrace, Beppo, a disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the affirmation misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of protracted summation examination today, as you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. Alright, I don't have to go into the 5 pence thing. I'm not gonna dig into that. This is the other problem.
Hold it!
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before, this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a 5th passenger, but as yet 0 evidence. And what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white, the man's guilty! Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was.
Hold it!
Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh, yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip? I suppose. I might have, yes, but put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horse when I heard a scream from the seats of the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of this midriff. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was a famous man, yes. So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all? I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I?
Truth!
You have something to say?
Excuse me!
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could you have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Whoops. I didn't see my choices. Well, it's a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through the skylight at the top of an omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respected city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar. I'd ask that you supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that. I'll just tell you how grim it was. Okay, well. It worked. Ah.
Objection!
Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit soaked, and maybe laying it on a little thick, but... Well, anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. But no, that can't be right. So you're the liar here, then. That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed. But that's clear. But is that really the truth? Well, I...
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it was on both hands. It was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be a gold standard. I'm a gentleman, some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, we could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I have evidence. I'm glad I didn't accidentally press A fast again with that one. My lord? Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay has reason to lie in his testimony. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. Evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
Whoops, that's not what I meant to... Wait. That's not... Yeah, no, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry. I was a little blank-minded as I did that. I know what it is. I was like, oh yeah, we looked at it earlier. There it is. Okay.
Take that!
Sorry, guys. that's worse because it's like I knew the answer. I just pressed the wrong one. This is a list of debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worth of being called debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Ah, well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts that were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw? In a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Yeah. Order. Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have the most serious implications upon your future, sir. Oh man, we've been going for a while. That might be part of the reason that I'm slipping up over here. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment of time in which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on in McGilded hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And yet only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir? Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir. On the assailant's hands. I think, yes. more, sir, that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? What? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all of you witnesses. This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yarr. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of this trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard the scream. Okay, well at least he's being honest about things. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we all would have seen it. Oops, sorry, I just bopped my mic. Well, lo and behold, in truth of that, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there's no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. Much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. Press everything. No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. Steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw. But why? Your reasoning was dire. To the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily from the accused fingers.
Hold it!
Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance, as well you know. But for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could have possibly have done it. I was just trying to save us all some time. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? It's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing. A little guinea or 10. I'm a banker, no one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. Yeah, is he implying that he borrows from the bank that he's working at? The witness's scruples are not in trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work?
Hold it!
definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands. Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. Gilbert's gloves had any signs of blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilden sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves. That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark colored stain on dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilden's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands. This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it.
Hold it!
You didn't see anything. Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. I'm very sorry. That's what I said before, sir. Very sorry, yes. It was wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir? I don't know what you're insinuating. Oh, no. I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? No, please. You didn't even see that. It was so cool that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo!
Hold it!
And everything you saw from the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus. That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. I was so bitter. Which rather begs the question as to why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It was locked? That's right! Public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured and made clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up to the roof deck and look down longingly at the warm cabin below. Well, I can assure you, I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence. If there was anyone else there in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about those two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You're riding this omnibus and witness the events in the cabin through the skylight on the floor in the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure, but the possibility cannot be denied. That at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in that enclosed cabin on the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, Menippe's friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area of this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Where exactly on the omnibus are you suggesting that the potential extra passenger could have been situated? So, wasn't like the trunk area here? Like it could probably fit another person inside? Is that... Were we implying that? Or at the very least, if he was sitting here, looking down this way, he wouldn't have been able to see over here. So I'm gonna say...
Take that!
Both rows of seats in the roof face the direction of travel. Okay, alright, good. We're at that point. Because I was thinking that whenever they were flashing back to that picture, and I noticed that he didn't have gloves on, I also noticed that it was like, you could barely see much of anything. You could see their like torso and their legs and their hands, but you couldn't see anything across from them. And that's why I was surprised, because I thought that Magnus would have been sitting on the right side, on this picture, the right side that's going towards the thing, not sitting backwards. So whenever they showed him side by side, I was like, oh, I was picturing Magnus, like they thought that Magnus like reached over and stabbed him like from in front of him, not from the side of him. So I was very confused when that was happening. Whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other. Which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, right, is as if drawn here. Ah. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one that the victim the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that side, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, but it is unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which is out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck? Let's carry on. Let's carry forth. I understand, my lord. Oh, it's all in the wording that I said. I said that the victim and his attacker were sitting there and the third passenger was sitting over there. I see. The defense would like to put forward a name. Oh yeah, get comfortable, Van Zeeks. You are a fool. His response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let's not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger on the other seat. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view.
Take that!
The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks! People talk of these tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own, but I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backwater such as yourself mayn't understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built.
Objection!
I'm not denying that. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet, we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary. Order! Order! What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense's postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I couldn't see the rest of them, though. Or I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First? I'm afraid I don't remember. So much for that. And you call yourself a hatter. You don't even have a hat that fits right on your head. The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGillicuddy would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact. Unless that is you proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the cabin in which he traveled. That's a fair point there. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin on the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGillicuddy would have been unaware of it. Order! There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGillicuddy, to the stand? Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, sir, Lord. On what grounds? Yeah, what? As a suspect, you already have made full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Agnes McGillicuddy is no uneducated fruffy. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it would have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGillicuddy to testify or not? More information, that's all we need. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGillicuddy to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGillicuddy has to say. Get the man out here, I say. It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things in the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard. Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Now maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Let the proceedings be resumed. Oh, we're still going. Oh, goodness. I thought for sure that was going to be a pause in the action. Unless it's going to be like a day-by-day thing. Oh, boy. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure I have, my lord. His voice is totally gone. Forget it. There are now two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from police? Begad, no. It is not my nature to hide anything at all. Anything at all. Just answer the question, please. The truth of the matter is I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all or keep me mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded? The fine fellow represented me is absolutely right. The carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true. We came this far and you're just telling us now. Aye, it was me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. What? Oh boy. Slam the desk and then silence. Yeah, that's about it. No, Magnus McGilded, that convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zieks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken down by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was... Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child of whom you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the garage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in the courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Ah, smoke! Fire! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! Go after them! It's no use! I can't see anything through all the smoke. What is going on? Be careful, Miss Naruto. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber, we had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Ah, there it is. Whew. Well, that was a long start to the trial. But there might have been somebody else in the carriage. I guess we'll find out. Some kind of smoke bomb came off. Sounded like a gunshot almost, but I don't think it was a gunshot. Otherwise, they would have said so. I think it was just like a smoke bomb. So something's happening, and we'll be trying to figure out what soon enough. Very strange. Yeah. Well, stay tuned for next time, and we'll see what we have to find about the third passenger inside, and how this little child didn't pay the fare, and how nobody else noticed her except for the defendant, and whether it's even something that can be believed at this point. And, what do you guys think of the defendant? With everything that has been, talked about him and stuff. I'd be curious to know. I'd be curious to hear what thoughts you all have. But in the meantime, I guess we're finally at an end here. I won't keep you much longer. I'll talk to you guys next time.